Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. If you remember last year on the program, our next guest, well, as Mikey likes to say, tried to kill him.
Yes, I am mildly allergic to grass. No, I'm kidding. I'm really allergic to grass. I can confirm that allergy season started on Saturday. Remember, it got kind of warm and windy, and the birch and alder went, yes! And that caused allergies. Dr. Heidi Root's joining us, naturopathic physician, to talk about seasonal allergies and how you can eliminate them, right?
Right. How you can try to prevent them next year.
Promises, yeah.
Promises,
so it's too late for me this year?
It is.
late.
Unfortunately, if you started reacting already, then it's too late.
So if you listened to her last year, so if he listened to you, he'd
maybe
be fine?
next year. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Now
we're not going to test you again because it was pretty.
It was pretty brutal.
It was a rather intense
I think we've got
reaction.
some footage of Mike's reaction.
Yeah.
So maybe you can explain what you did to Mike and how you test for what people are allergic to.
Okay, so you can do what's called an IgE-mediated skin prick test. So you basically prick the skin with a little bit of antigen on it, and if the skin creates a hive, it's a positive test. So Mike created a hive.
Yeah, I was a serious skin prick.
You were a hive, I think.
So what does that actually mean? What is your body doing? Break down the science.
So basically allergies, we can dumb down allergies. Allergies are really, really basic. It is your body reacting to a substance that usually is very benign that most people do not react to, creating an immune reaction. So the immune system becomes hypersensitive and it releases IgE antibodies. So typically it's the IgE antibodies that create all the symptoms. The IgE antibodies start a chemical reaction in the body that ends up with things like histamine release. So histamines create things like
getting a sniffly nose just listening
so
to
is
you.
that the
runny eyes, nasal congestion, the hives on the skin, and there can be a whole variety of reactions as far as mild to moderate, which is what you have, to anaphylactic, which is the same reaction, but is it just an extreme reaction?
Okay, so people can take antihistamines, obviously, to counteract these problems.
So what that does is it suppresses the histamine response. You can take natural antihistamines as well, like vitamin C is a natural antihistamine, quercetin is a natural antihistamine, but you're still just palliating
managing symptoms.
Your symptoms, yeah.
So what
you're not treating your cause.
What can someone like you, a naturopathic doctor, do, advice-wise, etc., to help people like Mike to prevent this from happening?
Like Mike. How many people have allergies, first of all? So
wait a minute.
Like Mike, how many people have seasonal allergies?
Probably 25% of the population, and there is a genetic component. So if no one in your family, and if neither one of your parents have allergies, you have about a 15% chance of developing them on your own.
But if both parents?
If one has allergies, you have a 30% chance, and if both, greater than 60% chance.
Wow.
So there's a big genetic component to it. However, it's all about balance in the body. So your immune system is intricately related to your hormonal systems: cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, all the hormones. So if your hormones are in balance, your immune system will also be in balance. You will have much more severe allergies. So how we treat allergies when we want to prevent them is we balance the body. We have to find out what the cause of the problem is. So something like diet. There's people that have food sensitivities. For example, you might be sensitive to eggs. No, not necessarily allergic to eggs, but sensitive.
So we don't blame Mike. I have that. I'm sensitive. I'm not anaphylactic in any way.
If you can find out what's creating imbalance in your body, you can actually prevent your allergies. And this is how we work very successfully with allergies.
Because allergies, your histamine levels really, if they're already irritated, right? When you're
so if you have leaky cells and you're dumping histamine really easily, that's when you're getting allergies. So if your body's out of balance.
So wait, I have leaky cells and I'm taking a histamine dump? This is horrible.
Exactly. That's exactly it. You nailed allergies.
Wow.
And we dumbed it down for the average human.
And you got it, Mike.
But this is why we're seeing people struggle a little bit more, isn't it?
Right, because we have way higher stress levels. Our cortisol levels are always high. That's creating a lot of dysfunction in our immune system. And they play off each other. So perimenopausal women. I have tons of women that are in perimenopause. We're treating them for menopausal symptoms, and they come in and say, I have no idea what's going on. I've never had allergies before in my life, but I have allergies. And studies have shown, there was a big study out of Texas in 2006 showing perimenopausal women with 30% higher levels of IgE antibodies against estrogen and progesterone. So because their hormones are imbalanced, their immune system's reacting.
I've heard this with pregnant women as well.
Pregnant women as well.
That very often when you're pregnant, your allergies will change or will get worse.
Typically, people start developing their serious allergies around age 35 to 45, and that's a huge time when your DHEA levels are down, your cortisol levels are up, hormones are off. So that's one component.
You were born with allergies, so that's not necessarily
true.
Not a lot of
little kids have seasonal allergies. It's mostly adults that have seasonal allergies.
And
I
what
had
does
grass
seasonal
allergies.
allergies, how are they different from allergies when it comes to food? Are they related?
So it's just a
or?
different mediated response. So a food it depends on the type of food allergy. So a peanut allergy, anaphylactic, is exactly the same allergy as a grass allergy or a mold allergy. A food sensitivity, so what you have for eggs, or I'm not sure what yours is, eggs?
Eggs, yeah.
So that's an IgG-mediated immune response, but what it's doing is it's creating a hypersensitivity in the immune system, creating more IgE antibodies, and therefore
Leaky
you're more
cells and a
likely to have
histamine dump.
leaky cells. and
I'm
histamine dump.
taking one too?
Yes, you're taking one too. So you mentioned sort of getting on this a year before and how examining what's in balance, out of balance.
Right.
How do you actually do that?
So that's the tricky part. For some people, it's really straightforward and really basic. You run a food panel, you see that they've got sensitivities to certain foods, you pull those foods, they never have allergies again. For other people, it's more complicated because there's chronic stress, they have thyroid issues, they have cortisol that's out of balance, they don't sleep well, so it's really creating balance in a person's body. If you can get someone sleeping well, reduce anxiety, things like that, you're going to notice a huge improvement in seasonal allergies.
It's interesting because you've been on our show so many times for so many different problems, but every single time, stress and sleep and diet are what we end up talking
They're
about.
the cornerstones of health, though, really. There are things you can do, though, when you're at this point now. If you don't want to take an antihistamines, and antihistamines work, and they're really not going to do you all that much harm through the season, but every year, if you keep using the same approach, you're going to be doing antihistamines all the time. You're not going to be solving the problem.
Okay.
Things like essential fatty acids. So really what happens is the IgE creates inflammation in your tissues. So you get inflamed ears, inflamed eyes, inflamed throat, inflamed
Reduce
lungs.
the inflammation.
Yeah. Reduce the inflammation. So probiotics are great. Essential fatty acids, like a fish oil or a flax oil, one of the best things you can do. The antihistamines like vitamin C, quercetin, and
I heard green tea.
Green tea has, there's a component in green tea it's a really strong antioxidant. So things like that.
Interesting.
Well, Heidi,
Love
always such a pleasure. We learned a little something about Mike and his histamine dumps.
Histamine dumps.
There we go. So if you want to check in with Dr.
Bold
Heidi.
words from someone with leaky cells.
If you want to check in with Dr. Heidi, you can find out more about how to make an appointment, get a consultation on her website. Thanks so much, Heidi.
Thanks so much.
I'm taking a histamine dump right beside you right now, just so that you know. We're going to take a break.